Northamptonshire won their fourth straight Yorkshire Bank 40 game to move into second place in Group A. Their latest victory coming against Sussex by 63 runs in a low-scoring game in Arundel. Ed Joyce inserted after a slightly delayed start which reduced the game to 39 overs per side. In what appeared to be rather tough conditions to bat in, Kyle Kurtzer, fresh from his brilliant double hundred in the Championship last week, and David Willey made a steady start before both were out to Chris Nash before the 11th over. That had brought in Alex Wakely, a man who's in good touch of late in this competition, one in which his side began rather slowly before reeling off a hat-trick of wins. Wakely played some neat shots as he and Rob Keogh carried the total along to 82 for 2 at the end of the 18th. Sussex would have been pleased with their start, and things got better for them when Keogh hesitated for too long, allowing Luke Wright to run him out with a throw from point. Will Beer bowled an intelligent spell in the middle overs and was rewarded with a wicket of Matt Spreagle, who chose the wrong ball to reverse paddle and was legged before on the full. Northants have relied a little on Stephen Crook for some meaty innings of late, but he failed on this occasion. Beer with his second wicket as the big hitting all-rounder failed to clear the ropes and found James Anyon in the deep instead. After 25 overs, the Steelbacks had only got to 103 for 5 and a total of 200 now seems some way off in spite of the efforts of Wakely and Ben Duckett, who impressed in what was only the third list day appearance of the 18-year-old's career. Once the spinners were out of the attack, batting did appear to get a little easier. Wakely, who recently scored his maiden one-day 100, added another half-century to that. It turned out to be a very significant innings, with his 50 being made off 67 deliveries, from which he'd only found the boundary on 3 occasions. This was never going to be a big scoring game. Having said that, both of these batsmen did keep the board ticking over. With 10 overs remaining, they'd taken the total along to 124 for 5, and then they tried to pick up the pace a bit, having kept some wickets in hand. Boundaries such as these, though, were still at a premium. Wakely, who'd been dropped by Chris Liddle on 28, was eventually dismissed for 69, hacking a ball from Lewis Hatchett to Beer, who was the pick of the Sharks' attack with 2 for 33 from his 8 overs of leg spin. Duckett then helped his side to a challenging 191 for 6, with 26 runs being plundered off the last 2 overs, the youngster ending on a one-day best of 47 not out. It was a gettable score, then Sussex made it a far more difficult one to reach as they soon lost wickets in their reply. Crook did the majority of the damage. He started by nipping one back to bowl Nash with his 5th ball. And after Wright was out for a duck 3 balls later, surprised by the bounce from this delivery from Willey, Crook trapped Luke Wells in front to leave the home side on 1 for 3. And then Crook saw Joyce drag a full-length delivery back onto his stumps, a wicket which left the hosts on 7 for 4 in the 6th over. It was a terrible start and it gave a tough job for the rest to do. Rory Hamilton-Brown and Michael Yardy did at least manage to add 25 runs in the next 6 overs, but then the former drove Lee Daggett to mid-off. So Yardy and Ben Brown were left with a rather large rebuilding job to do. Yardy managed to keep his side interested for a while, especially as he took on Spreagle. The wickets might have fallen too early, but at least Sussex still had plenty of overs in hand. All they needed was to form a partnership. And that was happening with these two. Brown tried to ruin Crook's excellent figures, which had read 3 for 9 from his first 4-over spell, by hitting him for a 6. And Yardy completed an excellent 50 in the same over, by the end of which the target had been brought down to 88 off the last 13 overs, with 5 wickets still in hand. Yardy had needed 66 balls for his half-century, which had included 5 fours. The partnership between this pair had realised 74 runs in 15 overs, when it was, importantly, brought to an end by Willey, who smashed Yardy's stumps to see him return to the pavilion with 52 runs to his name. Azarullah then got in on the act with the crucial wicket of Brown, who was also bowled after he'd made 40, leaving the rest to try to get 77 more runs off the final 52 deliveries. They didn't get close. Beer was out in the next over, top-edging Crook to the running David Murphy. Hatchett was superbly yorked by Azarullah in the 33rd over. And with a total on 128, the same bowler hit the stumps of Liddell to finish with figures of 3 for 20. Crook impressed again with 4 for 26. So Northamptonshire had done it again, winning their latest match by a comfortable 63 runs, a victory which puts them into second in Group A with 9 points from 7 games. Leaders Notts have a perfect 12 from 6, while Sussex have 6 points from 7, having now suffered 3 defeats. They probably can't afford to lose another one if they're to have any hopes of qualifying for the semis again.